acknowledging the directive from his superior. Most of his previous connections resided within the entertainment industry. So with the boss's interest pivoting towards finance, it would be necessary to reconstruct the intelligence network. This endeavor cannot be accomplished overnight. Rather, it requires continuous adjustments aligned with the boss's vision. You will maintain a direct line of communication with Su Tang. For any needs, simply submit requests to her, as all salaries and expenditures will be processed through her. Understood, boss. Once you have made your introduction to General Manager Su, I will seize the opportunity to engage with her. Chen Xiao was taken aback, realizing that Zhong was already aware of Su Tang's title. Impressive efficiency indeed. Very well. After concluding his discussion with Zhong, Chen Xiao returned to his office, eagerly anticipating the day's events. It was the time for harvesting gains from Longzhong coal. Not only would this venture yield substantial profits, but it would also cause significant losses for Xing Yanqing and the capital backing him. The thought alone was gratifying. Boss. Wang Peng and Xiao Su greeted him. Has the market opened? Yes, boss. The moment the market opened, there was a significant surge, and it is on the verge of hitting the upper limit. A smile crept onto Chen Zhao's face as he prepared to liquidate his holdings at the peak. Understood, boss. Before long, Longzhong coal unsurprisingly surged to the upper limit, and Chen Xiao began to gradually sell off his nearly 500,000 shares. Chapter 65. The tactics of Yin Bengqian. Upon observing the market, various capital players immediately associated him with the individual who had caused the sell-off the previous Friday. Countless voices erupted in condemnation. Damn, those market manipulators. Do they truly believe they can crash the market again? The false news they spread has cost me tens of thousands. How dare they attempt to drive prices down when the official announcements are positive? I'll make them pay dearly. During this period of market prosperity, Chen Zhao's liquidation proceeded remarkably smoothly. In less than an hour, he successfully sold off over 400,000 shares. As he gazed at the upper limit, where nearly 500,000 shares remained untraded, it felt as though the retail investors were taunting him, as if to say, "Come on, keep going. Let us see who has deeper pockets." Chen Xiao had utilized a staggering 4.5 billion in capital. He had accrued a profit of 687 percentage points last Friday, and with an additional 10 points today, his total soared to 687 percentage points. This translated to an astounding profit of 129 billion. Such a maneuver had catapulted Chen Xiao into the ranks of the billionaires. Wang Peng and Xiao Su were exhilarated, jumping and cheering in celebration. Their gazes toward Chen Xiao were filled with admiration. Su Tang observed Chen Xiao's silhouette, momentarily entranced. Chen Xiao, too, felt a rush of excitement, his heartbeat resonating in his ears. Over 100 million, a figure that most could only aspire to. For him, it was not merely a small goal, but a monumental leap. His hand, which held a cigarette, trembled slightly. Su Tang promptly approached to light it for him. Chen Xiao inhaled deeply. Su Tang, it's time for bonuses. Certainly. A red envelope of 10,000 may not seem like much, but this was the second such occasion this month. Chen Xiao added, Wang Peng, Xiao Su. At the end of the month, I shall present you both with a substantial bonus. The two quickly declined the praise, saying, no, it is you, boss, who has skillfully guided us. We merely fulfilled our responsibilities. No, we are a team, and everyone has contributed, was the final word. The group was filled with joy. Before long, Chen Zhao's team, from top to bottom, received their red envelopes. Lin Yanran and Lin Yanyu, the sisters, chattered excitedly about celebrating the company's substantial profits with a nice dinner that evening. Dong Shuwen felt a deep sense of gratitude and reflected that, for her, this might be the best job in the world, one she could never find again. Meanwhile, the cleaning lady stood at the restroom door, dazed with a thick stack of cash in her hands, pondering what to do next. What should I do? The company has already maintained the highest standards of cleanliness. Should I use a toothbrush to scrub the toilet a few more times to meet food-grade standards? Chen Xiao planned to leave 1 billion in the company's account while withdrawing 9 million to his personal account, coupled with the remaining 4 million from buying a car. His total pocket money reached 9 million. Upon returning to the office, new hidden information refreshed on the screen. June 15th. Juqianian reached a peak increase of 1,000. From June 15th to June 26th, Jinning Pharmaceuticals rose a total of 10,000. Chen Xiao was taken aback. He had completely overlooked Jiutianhuidian's surge. Jinning Pharmaceuticals had doubled its stock price in just 12 days. He quickly looked up Jinning Pharmaceuticals and noted that the company had been stable until it suddenly hit a limit down yesterday, and again at the opening today. After reviewing the information, he realized that Jining Pharmaceuticals' new drug, developed at great expense, was suspected of causing severe complications, which led to the plummeting of its stock price. However, the projected doubling of the stock price from tomorrow until the 26th clearly indicated that this so-called severe complication was likely a fabrication. Chen Xiao immediately summoned Su Tang. Quickly, inform Wang Peng and Xiao Su that all funds should be invested in Jining Pharmaceuticals, but make sure not to break the limit down. Seeing her boss so anxious, Su Tang did not dare to delay, responding affirmatively while hurrying to the trading room. Wang Peng and Xiao Su, upon receiving the news, opened their trading accounts and dove right in, without pausing to consider. They had completely surrendered to their boss. His judgment proved invaluable, even without any information. Currently, the two held 100 million in principal, which, magnified tenfold, allowed them to manipulate 1 billion in funds. However, the negative news surrounding Jining Pharmaceuticals was overwhelmingly explosive. Although it had not yet made trending headlines, it had already engulfed the entire media landscape. On the limit down board of Jining Pharmaceuticals, a deluge of sell orders continued to swell. Wang Peng and his companion felt no pressure, managing to acquire over 100 million within a matter of minutes without even slightly disturbing the total volume of sell orders on the limit down. They executed transactions of 10,000 lots, engaging in frenzied trading of several 100,000 lots. Meanwhile, within the headquarters of Jining Pharmaceuticals, Yan Bingqin wore a serious expression. What is the status of the investigation? The group has invested over 3 billion in RD, and this is the result you present to me? If the claims are true, all involved will forfeit their year-end bonuses, and the project leads will be fired immediately. In front of her stood a dozen executives, who were silent as mice, not daring to utter a word. Although this woman possesses unparalleled beauty, one must amplify her words to truly comprehend their significance. Should a crisis arise, the primary project leader's fate may be far graver than mere dismissal. She could very well orchestrate their downfall. The oppressive atmosphere lingered for an extended period as everyone awaited the final test results in silence. Yan Bingqin's crimson nails rhythmically tapped against the table, echoing in the hearts of all present. Her captivating gaze radiated a fierce intensity, leaving everyone breathless. At last, the laboratory director rushed in with the results, his glasses askew and forgotten in his haste. The results are in. The results are in, he exclaimed. In an instant, everyone gathered around. Yan Bingqin commanded, stand back. What are the results? The laboratory director, drenched in sweat and adjusting his crooked glasses, replied, no issues. Our medication is sound. The 20 patients from that hospital must have experienced organ failure due to other medications. A collective sigh of relief swept through the room, including from Yan Bingqin. Such a significant incident could have had dire repercussions for Jining Pharmaceuticals, potentially jeopardizing the parent company as well. The stepmother faction would undoubtedly seize the opportunity to undermine Jining and seize ownership. Having averted the crisis, Yan Bingqin did not relax. Rather, her mind raced with thoughts. This was a pivotal moment for the company, and equally, a remarkable opportunity for her. Soon, a plan began to crystallize in her mind. Everyone, hand over your phones, she instructed. The senior executives exchanged puzzled glances, uncertain of her intent. Yet, out of fear of Yan Bingqin, they complied, placing their devices on the table. Yan Bingqin turned to the laboratory director, inquiring, who is aware of the test results? Aside from our laboratory personnel, no one knows, Yan. Excellent. Bring everyone to my office. Before long, the entire lab team gathered in her expansive office. Phones were not permitted in the lab, so researchers had left their devices in lockers. Yan Bingqin announced, from now until the next couple of days, everyone must remain in my office. No one is allowed to leave or contact the outside world. I am orchestrating a significant business strategy. Chapter 66. And upon hearing this, the crowd exchanged bewildered glances. Yan. Suddenly, with a swift kick, Yan Bingqin shattered a corner of the solid wood desk, causing everyone present to tremble in fear. Any objections? She demanded. And none, they stammered. Good. Zhang Yuan, collect the phones and ensure someone is on guard 24/7. Arrange for meals to be delivered on time and procure some blankets. We will sleep here tonight. The restroom will be in my office. Yes, Mississippi. A formidable female bodyguard, flanked by a group of subordinates, firmly secured the entrance. Realizing escape was impossible, everyone settled into various corners to rest. Yan Bingqin transitioned to another office, summoning her trusted confidant. Immediately consolidate all funds and buy Jining Pharmaceuticals stock aggressively. Understood, Yin. However what? However, this morning, as the market opened, individuals began to incessantly acquire shares of our company, leaving one to ponder their identity. Yin Bingqin furrowed her brow, wondering if that wretched person had received some information. It seemed implausible. The experimental results had yet to be released, making it unlikely that anyone could have learned the outcome beforehand. Who could it be? Investigate immediately, focusing particularly on private securities firms. If it is a financing entity, they should reveal some telltale signs. Understood. Yin Bingqin's captivating eyes narrowed in contemplation. Who could possibly possess such a keen interest in the shares of Jinning Pharmaceutical? This crisis presented a splendid opportunity for Yin Bingqin to gain absolute control over Jinning Pharmaceutical. She planned to seize the moment while her stepmother's faction was distracted, purchasing more shares to secure a dominant 51 stake. Henceforth, this esteemed conglomerate would be firmly within her grasp. At 10:30 in the morning, Wang Peng, while executing trades, remarked, "Su, it appears someone has entered the market to compete with us for Jinning Pharmaceutical." Upon confirming the news, Su Tang instructed, "Continue with the transactions. I shall inform the boss." Very well. Chen Xiao, pondering the situation, mused that they could not always encounter Xing Yanqing. Let us not concern ourselves with others. If he possesses any insider information, he surely would not desire the stock price to breach the limit down, just as we aim to operate beneath a safe threshold. Understood. Boss, came the reply. Su Tang exited, while Chen Xiao fixated on the office screen, realizing that the institutions vying for the stock were indeed in tacit agreement. Everyone was competing fiercely for Jinning Pharmaceuticals' shares while remaining within safe limits. The market remained steeped in pessimism due to the magnitude of the current crisis. With so many individuals affected simultaneously, if anything were to go awry, the prospect of Jinning Pharmaceutical facing delisting or bankruptcy loomed ominously. Presently, everyone sought to escape. At the headquarters of Jinning Pharmaceutical, Yin Bingqin had ordered the lockdown of all entrances on that floor. The financial team was fervently acquiring shares. Standing before the glass wall, she observed a convoy hastily arriving and halting at the building's entrance, for which a group emerged, rushing inside. Yin Bingqin could not help but sneer. "Humph. A bunch of inept fools. Do they think they can contend with me?" Moments later, at the entrance of the top-floor office area of Jinning Pharmaceutical, the newcomers were intercepted by Yin Bingqin's security personnel. Yin shouted from the entrance, "Yin Bingqin, come out." Yin Bingqin crossed her arms and retorted coldly, "Whose unrestrained dog has wandered here to bark? You, Yin Bingqin, you are finished. The turmoil you've caused at Jinning Pharmaceutical will not be overlooked by father." Mention of this turned Yin Bingqin's expression even frostier. Yin, you wretched offspring of my stepmother. What right do you have to stand here? The Atlantic Group was founded by my father and mother together. What connection do you have to it?" Hearing Yin Bingqin's anger, Yin only laughed indeed. "I owe my gratitude to your mother for granting me a 25 stake in Jinning Pharmaceutical." Yin Bingqin's teeth clenched audibly. "Ah, so you possess shares, do you? I shall bring it to ruin. Without Jinning Pharmaceuticals, what do I have? You." Yin Yan's urgency in confronting me stems from her sole ownership of shares in Jinning Pharmaceuticals. Ultimately, she is merely a child of a concubine, and possessing a stake in this multi-billion-dollar subsidiary is no small feat. Coupled with her mother Lu Mei's 20, the two of them, while not absolute shareholders, still hold significant sway as major stakeholders in Jinning Pharmaceuticals. Just wait for me. With that, she hurriedly departed with a group of followers. Yin Bingqin sneered, "Fool. I shall remain here and witness whether you dare to cast it aside." The grand spectacle she orchestrated was driven by her determination to reclaim Jinning Pharmaceuticals, the company her mother founded during her lifetime. To her astonishment, an unexpected crisis presented her with the opportunity to regain control of the company. Not long after Yin Yan's departure, a flurry of sell orders erupted in the stock market. Yin Bingqin scoffed inwardly. "Are you attempting to flee with your funds? You must act swiftly. If you sell too little, how will you feel the pain?" The situation surrounding Jinning Pharmaceuticals was tumultuous, though some institutions recognized the unusual activity. The enormity of the situation deterred them from following the trend blindly. Should they enter the fray, they might not even have a chance to escape. Chen Xiao observed the sudden surge of substantial sell orders, each consisting of hundreds of thousands of shares. "Buy, acquire them all," he shouted excitedly. He had initially believed that his 1 billion investment might not be fully utilized that day, but fortune had smiled upon him. Wang Peng and Xiao Su went all in, knowing that even if they purchased everything, they would not breach the limit down, as the sell orders were overwhelming. Quickly gather all available funds and invest them. Chen Xiao commanded. He then set aside 1 million for personal expenses and leveraged the remaining 9 million, which included 9 million plus a 10 million margin, to acquire a staggering 239 billion in Jining Pharmaceutical shares. By this point, Chen Xiao had amassed a total investment of 123.9 billion in Jining Pharmaceuticals, anticipating a doubling of his profits in just 12 days, yielding a net profit of 123.9 billion as well. The trading room fell silent. Despite Wang Peng and Xiao Su's profound trust in their boss, the enormity of this all-in gamble weighed heavily on their hearts. Chen Xiao was exhilarated. He felt acutely that his funds were insufficient as the market continued to flood with sell orders, leaving him powerless to act. Alas, one must not be overly greedy. In time, I shall possess an inexhaustible arsenal. Chapter 67. Yin Yin and her mother. Murmuring to himself, Chen Xiao announced loudly, "All employees, enjoy a 10-day holiday." The staff stood in stunned silence. 10 days off? Has the boss lost his mind? Chen Xiao thought. What fluctuations could arise? There will only be one trend. Rise. Limit up, and rise again. However, reflecting on his earlier excitement, he decided, let us have a temporary break and await my further instructions. With that, he returned to his office, leaving the remaining few exchanging glances. Although the boss announced a holiday, no one left. Wang Peng and Xiao Su were perusing news regarding Jining Pharmaceutical. Realizing the magnitude of the situation, a sense of foreboding filled them. Unless it were a misunderstanding, the boss would face ruin. But had the boss ever misjudged? At the Jining Pharmaceutical building, Yin Bingqin was still frantically purchasing stocks. To date, she had utilized most of her liquid assets, increasing her shares from 43 to 48, just 3 percentage points shy of achieving control. Upon attaining that, her first act would be to expel Lu Mei and Yin Yin's associates from Jining Pharmaceutical. General Yin, the institutions that competed with us in purchasing have ceased. We're the only ones buying in the market, someone reported. Oh, they have stopped. Given their previous aggression, they must have exhausted their funds, Yin Bingqin remarked. Their confidence in Jining Pharmaceutical and such rampant buying likely indicates that the financing institutions have obtained results. Has there been any progress in the investigation? The boss is currently leveraging connections with relevant institutions for inquiries. We believe results will be forthcoming soon. Yin Bingqi nodded, a rare smile gracing her face. However, the good fortune was short-lived. Before the morning market closed, the hospital involved released a statement, claiming they had identified the cause of the numerous patients' organ failures, and it was unrelated to Jining Pharmaceuticals products. This news struck like a nuclear bomb for the investors, institutions, and shareholders who had just sold their shares in Jining Pharmaceutical, reveling in their good fortune. Quick, buy back. I will sue that hospital into bankruptcy. By now, those unscrupulous hospitals owe me my hard-earned money. Yin, who had been frantically selling off her Jining Pharmaceutical shares in a bid to escape, was left dumbfounded. Who could have anticipated such an enormous misunderstanding? Stop selling. You fools, buy back immediately. Lu Mei's call came through, unleashing a torrent of scolding on Yin. But the outcome remained unchanged. All sell orders in the market were instantly retracted. Yin Bingqin slammed her fist on the table, fuming. We were just 3 points away from control. Why release this news now? Yet, the established fact was beyond anyone's alteration. In this contest, the only one to reap rewards was Chen Xiao. Upon seeing the hospital's announcement, Wang Peng and Xiao Su leapt from their chairs, shouting in ecstatic frenzy. The others in the office thought the duo had lost their minds and rushed over to check. Chen Xiao quickly hurried over, bewildered. Wang Peng, Xiao Su, calm down. What is happening? Wang Peng's eyes were bloodshot. Boss, great news has arrived. It's here. Chen Xiao paused. From Jining Pharmaceutical? Yes. The hospital that encountered issues released a statement claiming the cause of the patient's organ failures lies elsewhere, unrelated to Jining Pharmaceutical. Chen Xiao was momentarily stunned. He had anticipated this news, but did not expect it to arrive so soon. The hidden message indicated that the stock price would double between the 15th and 26th, but made no mention of the 14th's market. It seemed the increase would be more than just double. Good, excellent. Chen Xiao laughed heartily. Stay steady. Don't panic. We will reassess this afternoon. At this moment, the morning market has closed, and the pharmaceutical industry has already broken through the limit down. Everyone has their own judgments about the subsequent trends, which will only be revealed when the afternoon market opens. The team led by Chen Xiao is joyfully enjoying takeout from a top-notch restaurant, chatting and laughing, creating an atmosphere of utter relaxation. On the side of Jining Pharmaceuticals, the restrictions on the executives have also been lifted. Yin Bingqin returned to the office and said, I apologize, everyone. The situation is urgent, and I had no choice. Some astute individuals likely guessed Yin Bingqin's intentions. Anyone in her position would need to handle matters diligently, and they all expressed their understanding. You are too polite, President Yin. Complying with the company's major decisions is our duty. All right, everyone, go rest now. In a luxurious villa somewhere in Jining, Yin Yin hung her head low. Useless. Who told you to sell Jining pharmaceutical stock? Lu Mei exclaimed in anger. Mom, everyone was selling at that time. If something really goes wrong, our money would go down the drain. Oomph. You lack prudence in your actions. How can I entrust you with important responsibilities in the future? Yin Yin's husband, He Dasheng, chimed in. Mom, please calm down. Yin Yin didn't expect this outcome either. Lu Mei shot him a glare. You are useless too. Why didn't you stop her? He Dasheng replied. He has no standing in the Yin family since he married in. He can only listen to the reprimands. Lu Mei pondered for a moment and asked, how much stock did you sell? I sold 5%. There's still 20 left. Lu Mei nodded, calculating with her fingers. You sold 5%, I sold 3%. Together it's Yin, He Dasheng. So you also sold, yet you scold us in return? Where can we seek justice for this? Forget it. It doesn't matter. I heard that someone is buying up Jining pharmaceutical stock. Find them and buy the stocks back. They must not fall into Yin Bingqin's hands. Okay, Mom. I'll investigate right away. Yin Bingqin sat in her office, awaiting reports from her subordinates. Soon, someone entered. President Yin, we've found out that the one buying our company's stocks is not an institution, but an individual. Who is it? Chen Xiao. Here, a photo of his ID. Yin Bingqin took a look and was stunned for several minutes. Why is it him? Remembering the tall young man she had met at the supercar club, she was astonished that he was actually buying Jining pharmaceutical stock. All right, I understand. You may leave. Yes. Yin Bingqin contemplated for a moment, then picked up the phone and dialed. Hello, is this Xiao Tang? Send me Chen Xiao's phone number. Tang Xiaofei was taken aback. Sister Qin, what is this about? Are you very curious? Yin Bingqin raised her voice. And no, I'm not curious. I'll send it to you right away. Tang Xiaofei initially wanted to inquire about Chen Xiao, but reconsidered, feeling he couldn't provoke her, and decided against it. After obtaining the number, Yin Bingqin smiled slightly and called Chen Xiao. When Chen Xiao saw an unfamiliar number, he ignored it, only answering on the third attempt. Hello, who is this? Chen Xiao, from the School of Arts and Design at Jining University, Sculpture Department. Is it you? As Chen Xiao listened to the somewhat familiar voice, he furrowed his brow and inquired. Who are you? Who am I? Have you forgotten so soon? I mentioned that I would take you out for a spin. Chen Xiao's hand trembled in surprise. Could it really be her? Ah, Qin, I apologize. I don't have your number. Is there something you need? Oh, nothing much. Just wanted to ask when you'd be free to go out. Chen Xiao replied, I'm not in town at the moment. I'm in a magic city for medical treatment. The doctor advised me against engaging in any strenuous activities due to my heart condition. If your teeth were bad, I might have offered you a bowl of soft rice, but with a heart condition, spare me the nonsense. Why would you buy a sports car if your heart is weak? Chen Xiao said, well, let us discuss it when I return. Oh, the signal here is poor. Hello? Hello? I can't hear you. Goodbye, Qin. With a series of beeps, Yin Bingqin stared blankly at her phone, somewhat intrigued by the boy's character. Upon returning to the dormitory, Xiao Ji was still engrossed in a video game. Brother Xiao, could you spare a cigarette? Didn't I give you 2 already? Hee. I offered them to the teacher. I needed to smooth things over for my absence. Chen Xiao thought to himself, I can't believe you. You probably gave them to the hotel and contraceptives. Not wanting to argue, he pulled out 2 cigarettes and tossed one to Lu Xian, who, however, did not catch it, instead resting his head on the desk in a daze. What is wrong, brother? Did someone boil you? Chen Xiao asked. This phrase was still quite popular at the time. Boil your sister. I lost a fortune. 5,000 turned into 4,000. Chen Xiao was speechless. Wasn't he just bragging a few days ago? Don't bring it up. I sold my stocks at the peak and planned to buy back at a low, but I ended up buying at the top. Chen Xiao chuckled. Give it up. Your talent lies in charming the ladies. Make good use of it, or you'll regret it later. Lu Xian retorted. I think your talent is disappearing. You vanish every few days. At that moment, a thunderous roar of an engine echoed from outside the dormitory, audible across half the campus. What the heck? Is it a sports car? Xiao Ji exclaimed, dropping his computer and rushing outside. Lu Xian followed suit. A sports car? Let us go see. Chen Xiao felt a sense of foreboding. He recalled that no one drove sports cars at their school. Curiosity got the better of him as he stepped outside. Upon reaching the corridor, he looked down to see a deep blue Lamborghini. Goodness, that car must be worth millions. Million? That is just a regular Lamborghini. It costs at least 15 million once it's south on the road. My word, does our school truly have such a character? Though Chun Xiao felt little surprise, he was nonetheless curious about who this person was exhibiting such flair. Just then, the scissor doors opened, revealing a long leg stepping out, followed by a tall, elegant, and strikingly beautiful woman holding a loudspeaker. Chun Xiao's pupils dilated in disbelief. Could it be Yin Bingxin? She raised the loudspeaker towards the number 5 dormitory and proclaimed loudly, "Chun Xiao, be my boyfriend. If you don't agree today, I want to leave." Chun Xiao felt his legs weaken, nearly collapsing to the ground in shock. Xiao Yi, Lu Xian, and their classmates stared blankly at Chun Xiao. Ahem, it's not me with the same name. I'll go down and ask if she is unwell. Having said that, he dashed downstairs. Oh dear, please don't shout. If this continues, I might just become famous. Yin Bingxin set down the loudspeaker, a smirk gracing her lips. Are you coming with me? If not, I'll make quite a scene at school. Let us go, hurry. Chun Xiao hopped into the passenger seat, and only then was Yin Bingxin satisfied, tossing the loudspeaker into a trash bin before taking the driver's seat and accelerating away. The Lamborghini, carrying Chun Xiao, departed from Jining University, yet the ripples it created engulfed the entire campus discourse. The campus forum was inundated with photos of the Lamborghini and beautiful women. Chun Xiao, shielding his face as he descended, managed to evade clear photographs. However, his name had swiftly become a widely recognized symbol. Tan Chun gazed at the forum in a daze, instantly identifying Chun Xiao. A supercar, beautiful women, and Chun Xiao? How could these elements possibly intertwine with him? Li Wenli let out a soft sigh, realizing that this was indeed a girl worthy of him. Xia Yudi, engrossed in gaming, typically paid no heed to such news, while Sun Ying, off campus, remained oblivious to the events unfolding. Lu Xian and Xiao Ji shared a cigarette, leaning against the railing in a daze. Did he manage to hook up with a wealthy woman? Xiao Ji took a deep drag. It seemed one could not remain confined to the school. Venturing out could yield encounters with misguided wealthy women. Damn, Lu Xian cursed, tossing aside his cigarette and turning back to the dormitory. Xiao Ji remained at the railing, lost in thought until the cigarette burned his fingers, snapping him back to reality. On the city expressway, Chun Xiao wore an expression of dejection. If it weren't for the fear of repercussions, he would have certainly expressed his annoyance. Observing his glum demeanor, Yin Bingxin couldn't help but chuckle. What's wrong? Am I not worthy to be your girlfriend? Chun Xiao rolled his eyes. I have plenty of girlfriends. I can't afford to associate with someone like you. Are you upset? I hadn't planned on coming to your school, but since you didn't answer my calls, I had no choice but to do this. What exactly do you want from me? Chun Xiao inquired. Yin Bingxin smiled slightly. We'll discuss it when we arrive. The Lamborghini attracted countless gazes along the way, and after several minutes, they finally arrived at the Supercar Club, the territory of Zhongmeng. Except on weekends, the venue was mostly vacant during the week. Yin Bingxin's vehicle entered the club without obstruction, parking on the racetrack. Chun Xiao appeared anxious. What do you intend to do? Yin Bingxin leaned closer. Chun Xiao, I brought you here today to discuss a business matter. Chun Xiao was taken aback. Business? What business could we possibly discuss? Yin Bingxin, often perceived as cold and aloof, appeared exceptionally enchanting when she smiled. Of course, we are discussing the business of Jining Pharmaceutical. Chun Xiao was momentarily stunned. How did she know I purchased stocks in Jining Pharmaceutical? However, he quickly realized that leveraging through financing institutions inherently made it difficult to keep secrets. Even those behind Xing Yanqing can be traced. How much more so the daughter of the wealthiest man, Jin Ning? How do you wish to converse? What relation do you have with Jining Pharmaceuticals? Yin Bingxin was momentarily taken aback. You purchased stocks without investigating the company's background? Chun Xiao remarked, I didn't have the time. I'll look it up later. Yin Bingxin retorted, what do you mean you didn't have the time? You've already completed the purchase. So what is the point in checking now? Impressive. Yin Bingxin extended her thumb and elaborated. Jining Pharmaceuticals is a subsidiary of Atlantic Capital Group, a company I manage. Chun Xiao's lips twitched, chuckling, what a coincidence. Regardless of ownership, profit must be made. Are you suggesting you wish to acquire the stocks I hold? Chun Xiao inquired. Clever. That is precisely my intention. Name your price. Yin Bingxin replied. Chun Xiao glanced at his phone, noting that Jining Pharmaceuticals had already reached its upper trading limit. If waited until the 26th, the stock price could double, yielding a profit of 137. 39 billion. Yin Bingqin, would you be willing to offer more than this? Do you truly wish to buy? Chen Xiao asked. Of course, otherwise, why would I have gone through such trouble to find you? Chen Xiao nodded. How much are you willing to offer? Yin Bingqin rolled her eyes. I asked first, you should state your offer. Fine, I possess 3 stocks of Jining Pharmaceuticals, purchased at 39 billion. If you desire them, I shall sell for 7 billion. Yin Bingqin's beautiful eyes widened in disbelief, her mouth slightly agape. Have you lost your mind? You wish to sell to me at over double the price? Chen Xiao affirmed. Indeed, I believe Jining Pharmaceutical stocks are worth this amount. Yin Bingqin fell silent, well aware of the substantial benefits the newly launched drug would bring to the group. If held, the stock price could easily rise by 50%, if not double. However, in business negotiations, one must not reveal their hand too soon. Chen Xiao, you acquired for 2 billion. Less than a day later, I will give you 5 billion. I'll look after you from now on. Upon hearing this, Chen Xiao laughed. Then there's nothing to discuss. I'm getting out. Click. The car locked. The roar of the powerful engine erupted. Yin Bingqin grasped the steering wheel, stating 8 billion. Sister will take good care of you. Chen Xiao quickly fastened his seatbelt again, gripping the handle tightly. No, that 1T work. Don't use that to threaten me. I've slept on roller coasters before. Yin Bingqin smirked. You were probably just fainted from fright, right? Chen Xiao retorted. Who says? I truly can sleep. I'm not scared at all. Oh. Yin Bingqin raised an eyebrow. Then let us take a couple of spins before we negotiate. No. The Lamborghini's tires screeched against the pavement, and in an instant, it surged forward. Chen Xiao felt as if a giant was pressing him firmly against the seat back, making it difficult to breathe. The scenery raced by, and adrenaline surged. His palms and forehead quickly became drenched in sweat. He struggled to turn his head to glance at the speedometer. In less than 10 seconds, the speed reached 233 kilometers per hour and continued to escalate. This is terrifying. Riding in someone else's car is entirely different from driving oneself. Driving oneself instills a sense of assurance. Yet as Chen Xiao sat in Yin Bingqin's vehicle, he was acutely aware of the precariousness of the situation, fearing that a single misstep could lead to catastrophic consequences. Chen Xiao, 2 billion for my younger brother, would you? He asked. With great difficulty, Chen Xiao shook his head. Suddenly, he experienced the velocity of high-speed rail from his previous life. In that past existence, he remained composed and serene, but now he was engulfed in panic, tears streaming uncontrollably. At a staggering speed of 349 kilometers per hour, Chen Xiao dared not utter a word, fearing that any disturbance might cause Yin Bingqin to falter, resulting in disaster. The club staff shook their heads in resignation, lamenting, "This woman is truly terrifying." Did you inform the boss? Yes, but it was nearly too late. By the time the boss received the news, he had already arrived at the club's entrance and promptly turned around to flee. Minutes later, a Lamborghini came to a gradual halt. The intense driving exerted considerable psychological pressure on Yin Bingqin. Oh, she exclaimed, releasing a loud shout to alleviate her earlier tension. Chen Xiao suppressed the urge to vomit, his eyes bloodshot and his face flushed. Are you insane? Do you have a death wish? Yin Bingqin laughed. What is there to fear? Whenever I feel stressed, I take a drive, and afterward, I feel refreshed. Chen Xiao replied. That is similar to me. I usually take a spin to clear my mind. But you don't have a license. Yin Bingqin retorted. Not every vehicle requires one, he defended. Yin Bingqin looked puzzled. A bicycle? Clearing his throat, he suggested, let us return to business. I've quoted a base price. After pondering for a moment, Yin Bingqin remarked, Brother, your offer is too high. It exceeds my expectations. It's hardly excessive, especially since you were so eager to acquire my stocks. There must be a deeper motive at play. Chen Xiao countered. Yin Bingqin paused, leaning closer, and playfully lifted Chen Xiao's chin, saying, Little brother, it's not wise for a man to be too astute. Why you shouldn't act recklessly? I'm not someone you can easily overpower. Chen Xiao stammered. Your good friend Tang Xiaofei, hasn't he mentioned your sister's prowess? He added, feeling anxious that this woman might perceive him as overly cunning and react in anger. So what if I tell? We live in a society governed by law. After all, hey, get off me. Chen Xiao exclaimed as Yin Bingqin executed a swift maneuver, mounting him and firmly gripping his throat. Sister offers you one last chance. 2 billion, which is already beyond my expectations. Chen Xiao shook his head vigorously. Yin Bingqin might not realize that her company's stock was poised to soar, but he could neither explain nor yield. Leaning close to Chen Xiao's ear, Yin Bingxin whispered, little brother, the throat is the most vulnerable part of a person's body, and I have you in my grasp. She glanced at their intimate positioning, her face flushing crimson. Why you? She stammered, suddenly reversing her position to return to the driver's seat. What a rogue. Chen Xiao coughed. You chose to sit there yourself. Chapter 70. Yin Yin Yin. Yin Bingxin raised her fist, prompting Chen Xiao to immediately fall silent. The atmosphere in the car grew quiet. At this moment, Yin Bingxin could no longer afford to feel shy. She was rapidly calculating the worth of the 3 stocks. If Yin 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 and her daughter were to learn of this news, the price they would offer to prevent her from obtaining absolute control over Jining Pharmaceutical would undoubtedly exceed her own valuation. The dilemma, however, lay in the fact that she had just squandered over $2 billion, leaving her with insufficient liquid assets. Let's first return you to your company. Allow me some time to ponder, shall we? Chen Xiao nodded in agreement. Yes, please take me back to the office. The school has become a chaotic mess because of you. How can I possibly return? Humph. A stunning beauty in a supercar is pursuing you, and yet you still find reasons to complain, she retorted. Chen Xiao remained speechless. If it were someone else, it might indeed be a pleasant situation. But not in this case. Yin Bingxin slapped the steering wheel. What is wrong with me? Who do you think I cannot surpass? Cough, cough. No need to get worked up. I was merely jesting. You are not genuinely pursuing me, Chen Xiao replied. Yin Bingxin rolled her eyes and after a moment said, but what if I truly were to pursue you? Chen Xiao shivered. No, I am unworthy. I believe you are equally unworthy, you rogue. Upon arriving at the company, Chen Xiao swiftly exited the vehicle and hurried into the office building. Yin Bingxin gazed at his retreating figure, a faint smile unconsciously gracing her lips. You little brother, do you wish to profit billion from your sister? One day, I shall make you relinquish several $100 million. This was a thought Chen Xiao did not hear. Otherwise, he would surely have misinterpreted it yet again. Upon returning to the company, he noticed a crowd gathered at the entrance. Frowning, he inquired, who are you people? The group remained silent until Su Tang emerged, saying, Boss, someone is looking for you. Who is it? He asked. She did not specify, only stating that they insisted on meeting him and would not leave without doing so. What on earth is happening today? Chen Xiao felt exasperated. How could anyone just seek him out so easily? Upon entering his office, he saw a man and a woman seated on the sofa. The woman appeared composed while the man wore an ingratiating expression, conversing with her. Are you looking for me? The woman elegantly rose. You must be Chen Xiao? Indeed. He confirmed. Shall we discuss this in the office? She suggested. Very well. Chen Xiao entered the office first, taking a seat before asking, who are you? And what is your purpose in seeking me? The woman let out a melodic laugh. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Yin Yin Yin, a director at Jining Pharmaceutical. I am here today to discuss the purchase of the stocks you hold in the company. Chen Xiao frowned, recognizing a shared intent with Yin Bingxin, as they bore the same surname. It was evident that this was a tale of familial rivalry and the struggle for power. However, he found little appeal in this woman, as she exuded an innate air of arrogance and flamboyance. This haughtiness did not stem from confidence, but rather from a disdain for others, an air of superiority that was quite off-putting. Nevertheless, Chen Xiao quoted his price. Should Yin 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 be able to meet it, he would sell without hesitation. 2.7 billion. Yin Yin Yin's eyes widened in disbelief. What? 2.7 billion? Are you out of your mind? The man beside her jumped up. 2.7 billion? It has more than doubled in less than a day. Why are you not seizing it? Chen Xiao frowned. The man resembled a lapdog, overly eager and irritating. Sensing Chen Xiao's displeasure, Yin 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 quickly interjected. Dushing, please step outside. I need to have a word with Mr. Chen. He Desheng was taken aback, but then exclaimed, get out. Yin Yan's face bore a frosty expression. Fine, I shall wait outside, He Desheng replied, casting a warning glance at Chen Xiao. Chen Xiao chuckled softly, pulling out a cigarette to light for himself. However, to his surprise, Yin Yin rose and approached him, snatching the cigarette from his lips and placing it in her own mouth. Chen Xiao was momentarily stunned and had no choice but to retrieve another cigarette to light. Is that man your boyfriend? Yin inquired, resting a hand on Chen Xiao's shoulder. No, he replied. Ah, I see, Chen Xiao realized, deducing that the man was likely someone pursuing Yin Yin. He is my husband, Yin Yin added with a smirk. Coughing, Chen Xiao nearly choked on the smoke. What the hell? Your husband is outside, and here you are teasing me? He stood up and moved to the floor-to-ceiling window. The price is what it is. Whoever can afford it owns the stock. Yin Yan's eyes narrowed. It was evident that someone had already approached him. Giggle. Yin Yin laughed playfully, leaning against Chen Xiao's back. Come on, handsome, Give me a discount, and I'll spend a few more days with you. Coughing again, Chun Xiao tossed the cigarette aside, finding the smoke intolerable. He turned to assess the soft figure behind him. Though they were sisters, Yin Yan's beauty paled in comparison to Yin Bingqin's, landing her in the realm of above average, but only becoming somewhat alluring through her luxurious packaging. I have no interest in married women, Chun Xiao stated firmly. Yin Yan followed closely, linking her arm with his. What of it? We can still have fun. Chun Xiao retorted. Can you truly offer that price? If you can, let us proceed. If not, then please excuse yourself. He could no longer tolerate Yin Yan's antics, pondering if this was the extravagant lifestyle of the elite. Yin Yan bit her lip and then smiled again. If you don't like me, that's fine. I can find someone you do like. How about a celebrity? Seeing her attempt to veer off course, Chun Xiao decisively interjected. I want money. I only sell for money. At last, Yin Yan abandoned her previous thoughts, slumping back into her seat. 1. 5 billion plus all my previous conditions. 2. 7 billion is the bottom line. Frustrated, Yin Yan stamped her foot and rose. Chun Xiao, be careful not to choke on that money. Huh, I have cameras in my office. If you threaten me today, you shall be the prime suspect should anything happen to me in the future. Yin Yan paused, casting a cold glance at Chun Xiao before turning to leave. Chun Xiao sat in his chair, contemplating for a moment. It was indeed time to bolster his security. Otherwise, anyone could show up uninvited. And what was with the financing institution? Were they selling him out completely? With that thought in mind, he pulled out his phone. Hello, and Joan. I need to know who spread my information at the financing institution. Understood, boss. I will investigate immediately. After hanging up, Lin Yanran knocked and entered, glancing at her boss's desk with a slight blush. Boss, Mr. Tang Xiaofei is here to see you. Oh, please let him in. Please come in, sir, Lin Yanran said. Tang Xiaofei entered with his hands in his pockets. Brother, your company's girls are truly stunning. Does any of them have a boyfriend? Lin Yanran quickly asserted. We belong to the non-marriage tribe and do not engage in romantic relationships. Tang Xiaofei was momentarily taken aback, pondering the implications of her statement. Lin Yanran's complexion instantly flushed crimson. Chapter 71. Ambush in the parking lot. Yanran. You should get back to work, Chun Xiao suggested. Tango, what brings you here? Oh, it's nothing significant, just delivering your driver's license. It's all sorted out. Thank you, Tango, Chun Xiao replied, surprised by the promptness. It's a trivial matter. By the way, that sister of yours, Yin Bingqin, called asking for your contact details and personal information. I had no choice but to share your number in school with her. I feel quite embarrassed about it. Chun Xiao chuckled lightly. It's all right, if she doesn't ask you. She'll certainly inquire with Zhang Meng or someone else. You can't really keep it a secret. Alas, that woman is quite ruthless. Once, a second-generation scion in our circle offended her. And let me tell you, he spent 3 months in the hospital. Chun Xiao added, Tango, I think I need to find some bodyguards. That would be futile. She is surrounded by a cadre of fierce women, each a champion in martial arts. That's incredibly daunting, Chun Xiao thought, feeling a shiver of fear. Thankfully, this woman had not caused him any trouble thus far. Unbeknownst to him, those who had witnessed Yin Bingqin smile were few and far between. However, during their time together, he couldn't recall how many times she had laughed. After conversing for a while, Chun Xiao bid farewell to Tang Xiaofei. He then proceeded alone to the parking lot, intending to test out the supercar once more. Upon reaching the underground garage, he noticed a group of individuals encircling a woman. Quickly, reveal your background and identity. No, I don't know. Chun Xiao was taken aback, realizing that the one being surrounded was Su Tang. Hey, who are you? He shouted. The youths, who bore the unmistakable demeanor of ruffians, turned to face him. What is it to you? Want a medal? Su Tang shook her head in terror, urging him, don't reveal your name. Hurry, they're not good people. Chun Xiao was at a loss for words. This foolish girl was endangering herself by remaining there. Brothers, let us discuss this calmly. How much will it take to resolve the issue? A leader among them, a young man with dyed hair and a pockmarked face, sneered. Ha! How much do you have? Trying to play the wealthy card. Are you? Hit him. Stop. Su Tang dashed forward, placing herself protectively in front of Chun Xiao. Quickly, flee. I'll hold them off. Chun Xiao felt warmth in his heart. It's all right. Su Tang, step aside. At that moment, the pockmarked leader seemed to recognize him. You're not Chun Xiao, are you? It doesn't matter who I am. What matters is who you work for. Whatever they're paying you, I'll offer double. Ha! So you think money makes you important? Huh? Brothers, bind him. In an instant, they charged at him. Chun Xiao composed himself, keenly observing the foremost attacker. As the distance closed, he executed a swift kick, incapacitating the assailant. Turning to the second attacker, he dispatched him as well. However, the remaining assailants swarmed him, overwhelming him and bringing him to the ground. Although Chen Xiao possessed commendable physical prowess, he found himself outnumbered. It was a case of fists against legs, with his opponents being seasoned street fighters. Su Tang fought desperately to protect Chen Xiao, enduring countless blows. Stop! At that moment, old Lu roared as he rushed over. Tossing aside the cloth he had been using to clean the car, shedding his jacket, and seizing the collars of the two assailants. With a sweeping kick, he sent one of them sprawling, then landed two swift kicks to their faces, rendering them incapable of further resistance. The other small-time thugs, witnessing this, immediately abandoned Chen Xiao and Su Tang, converging towards the two. Old Lu assumed a defensive stance, ready for confrontation. Just then, the building's security personnel arrived. The thug with the yellow hair and pockmarked face pointed at Chen Xiao and signaled for his accomplices to assist their fallen comrade in retreat. "Boss, are you all right?" Old Lu inquired with concern. "I'm fine, but please check on Su Tang," Chen Xiao replied. "I'm all right too, boss," Su Tang said, frowning. "All right, Lu, go. Bring the car around and take Su Tang to the hospital for a checkup." "Understood, boss." Su Tang protested. "Boss, what if something happens at the company?" "I'm really fine." "No way," Chen Xiao asserted in an uncompromising tone. "The company's matters are trivial. If you have any internal injuries, it will be troublesome if we delay." With that, he lifted Su Tang and placed her gently in the car. The trio arrived at the hospital, where a series of examinations revealed that thankfully no vital injuries had occurred, only some soft tissue bruising that required intravenous anti-inflammatory treatment. Su Tang insisted on returning home to apply some medicinal oil, but Chen Xiao refused, stating, "You must receive treatment here. The doctor will let you go once you're well." "Boss, I'll go buy some daily necessities," old Lu offered. "All right, go ahead. Thank you for your hard work." Lu go. "Oh, it's no trouble at all," he replied. Chen Xiao sat beside Su Tang's bed, contemplating who might be investigating him. Yin Bingqin was unlikely, and Yin Yin should also be ruled out. That left only Xing Yanqing and the forces behind him. Su Tang observed Chen Xiao's fluctuating expression and felt a warm surge in her heart. His hand rested near hers, a mere inch apart, and she found herself conflicted over that small distance. "Su Tang." "Huh?" Su Tang was startled. "I'm stepping outside for a smoke. I'll be right back." "Don't wander off." "Okay, boss, I'm fine." Once outside the hospital, Chen Xiao lit a cigarette, pondering deeply. Security was essential, but in addition, he needed to gather intelligence on his adversaries and await the opportune moment for retaliation. He pulled out his phone and sent a text to Zhong. "Investigate Zhongfu Securities covertly. Confirm whether they were behind today's attack on me. Regardless of the outcome, try to collect any evidence that may be advantageous to us." At this point, he realized he could no longer afford to hesitate, trust those who were useful and doubt those who were not. Taking a deep drag of his cigarette, he tossed the butt into a nearby trash can and prepared to return to the hospital. However, a sudden voice halted him. "Big brother, I promise after this job, I'll turn myself in right away. We can't delay Mom's condition. No, this is our country. Your targets are ordinary citizens, not terrorists or ruthless drug dealers. What do we do then? Even if I leave the country now, it will be too late." "Borrow." "Borrow? Where do I borrow from?" After the passing of Sanzi, the brothers relinquished all their money to his family. Is it appropriate to reclaim it now? Sanzi's ashes have yet to be interred. What thoughts must his family harbor? How can Sanzi find peace? Upon hearing this, Chen Xiao sensed that these two brothers were not ordinary. He took a slight step back and immediately observed two imposing figures, their faces contorted in anguish as they engaged in a heated argument. The insignia on their uniforms boldly proclaimed Dongzhou Security. Security guards? The two men were exceedingly alert. As soon as Chen Xiao cast a glance their way, they instantly turned around, their icy gazes sending a chill down his spine. "Excuse me, brothers, no misunderstanding intended. I noticed the Dongzhou Security insignia on your uniforms. May I inquire if you are bodyguards?" Chapter 72. The Lei Yong brothers indeed we are. Do you require security services? Brother. At such a time, is it truly worth it to earn a mere pittance for surgery costs? Chen Xiao replied with a smile. Perhaps it suffices. It merely depends on your capabilities. The robust man with a fiery temperament approached with a furrowed brow. "Kid, as long as you can provide the funds for my mother's surgery, I am willing to eliminate anyone you desire." Chen Xiao was taken aback. This man was undeniably fierce. He perceived only ruthlessness and resolve etched upon the robust man's face, devoid of any hesitation or doubt. The muscles on both men were finely defined, their bare skin marred by numerous ghastly scars. Chen Xiao could only wonder what they had endured. What do you go by? The slightly more composed man inquired. I am Lei Yong, and this is my brother Lei Ting. Chen Xiao nodded. Let us discuss the fees, if agreeable. I can provide you with an advance on your salaries. Lei Yong did not underestimate him due to his youth. He discerned the extraordinary depths in a young man's composed and seasoned gaze. We currently charge 6,000 a month. For both of us, that amounts to 120,000 a year, totaling 144 million. We require an advance for 5 years' wages. Chen Xiao offered 2 cigarettes, which both accepted, though Lei Yong held his without smoking, while Lei Ting leaned against the wall, inhaling deeply and exhaling a long stream of smoke. Please share your background. Lei Yong glanced around, then spoke rapidly in a tone audible to Chen Xiao, yet discreet. My brother and I, along with a few others, previously served in the Blackwater Security Company, primarily engaged in 5 years of protection, reconnaissance, and escort duties in the Middle East. Wow, Chen Xiao was internally astounded. These were mercenaries. Moreover, from the earlier overheard conversation, it was clear that Lei Yong possessed a strong moral compass. Where is your mother? I would like to see her. Lei Yong nodded and led Chen Xiao into the hospital, with Lei Ting silently trailing behind. Upon arriving at the hospital room, the 2 brothers knelt beside the bed. Mother, I have a friend here to see you. An elderly woman with a head full of white hair opened her eyes and said, quickly, invite him to sit. Xiao, have you caused trouble again? The hot-tempered Lei Ting was as docile as a child before his mother. Mother, I haven't. I've been listening to elder brother as you instructed. Well, that is much better. Quickly, offer your seat to our guest. Chen Xiao interjected. Auntie, there is no need. Lei Yong, Lei Ting, and I have matters to attend to. Oh, then you may go about your business. I'm fine. Auntie, we will remain at the door. Please call us if you need anything. All right, go on. Chen Xiao observed the 2 burly men standing helplessly by the hospital bed and deeply understood the meaning of a mere penny can thwart a hero, let alone several 100,000. Upon arriving outside the ward, he stated, first, let us settle the elderly lady's medical fees. We can discuss other matters later. Lei Yong and Lei Tingu exchanged astonished glances, their excitement rendering them momentarily speechless. Sir, is that true? Are you jesting with us? Chen Xiao shook his head, urging, let us not delay the elderly lady's treatment. Lei Tingu, visibly agitated, rubbed his hands together and declared, be brother, I will escort the sir. He then seized Chen Xiao's hand, attempting to lead him away. Chen Xiao instantly felt as if his wrist were ensnared in a steel vise. Lei Yong swiftly intervened, delivering a kick to Lei Tingu. Release him at once and apologize. Lei Tingu, startled, quickly bowed and stammered. I am truly sorry. I was overly excited. Chen Xiao waved his hand dismissively. It is quite all right. Let us proceed. Lei Yong instructed, you stay here in front of the ward. I will accompany the sir. Although Lei Tingu appeared reluctant, he had no choice but to comply with his elder brother's command, sulking as he stationed himself at the entrance like an iron tower, causing all who entered and exited the ward to tread carefully. Come, I am Chen Xiao. You may simply call me by my name. That is not permissible, Mr. Chen. This way, please. Upon reaching the payment window, Chen Xiao inquired about the expenses, discovering that the surgical fee alone amounted to approximately 500,000. He promptly deposited 800,000 into the elderly lady's medical account. Let this sum remain in the account. If it proves insufficient, inform me. Only then did Lei Yong feel a sense of relief, grasping Chen Xiao's hand with palpable excitement as he exclaimed, Boss, I shall say this. From now on, my life belongs to you. It is not so grave. My business is entirely legitimate. You 2 brothers need only provide adequate security services. Once the aunt's condition stabilizes, we can focus on working diligently and living well. Lei Yong nodded vigorously, reflecting on their return to the homeland, one reason being the loss of their brother Sanzi. The other was their aged mother. If they did not return soon, they might lose the chance to care for her in her twilight years. Regrettably, half of their savings had already been given to Sanzi's family. The remaining sum of over 100,000 had been depleted within just a few days of their mother's hospitalization. Upon returning to the ward, Lei Tingu rushed over, his eyes questioning Lei Yong. Only when Lei Yong nodded did he relax. Boss, in the future, should you face any peril, simply call, and I, Lei Tingu, shall not flinch. Oh,